How do you find winning ad angles?
Creative tests them.
Yeah,
Maybe the question is, how do you come up with ideas for them?
I think this is the easiest time to do this now than ever before.
Yeah, look around.
This is pick your head up, open your eyes.
Yeah, give some tactical, some tools or some things you use. Yeah.
Okay. We do. So first off, we have constant. So we're very fortunate that we get to see a lot of designs and edits coming through. We have Creative OS, Foreplay, AdNova, there's Atria. Like all these have discovery of your product and your niche. You have your direct competitors that you just can kind of literally go Facebook ads library lookup. Now, I like using the other tools because you can start seeing landing pages that they're running to, and if you see some of the higher end spenders, you can be like, "Wow, like that is a ad to page congruency on another level." So I think that's what I like about those most likely. And dude, the one of my favorite things to do that we earlier on when you have nothing, you go pull 5-star competitors, 5-star reviews on Amazon, 3-star reviews on Amazon, and 1-star reviews on Amazon of direct competitors. And you throw this into GPT or an award cloud, and you start seeing some of these like common uses, and you just start talking to it and asking questions. What is consistently repeated? And the reason why you want 1, 3, and 5, they may have paid for them, or there's some reasons why it's a 5. 3 is, that this didn't do what I thought it did, but it did some things. And 1, you just got people that are pissed. And so you kind of want a range of like what to avoid, what is kind of good about this product and what is incredible about this product. And I think you just tailor that towards some iterations of creation, and then at least give you a place to jump off from.
Yeah.
The even more simple one is go scroll Instagram, and whatever catches your eye that is an ad and you thought it was like it stopped you.
Yeah.
Then try that for your brand.
That's a good one. So one of my things that I like to do is on your own Instagram, just scroll through, and anything that stops you, ask yourself, like, how would I variate this for an ad for my brand or for an ad for XYZ brand? Like it could be just like a comedy skit or like a whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh, this isn't an ad though. It's not about a product. That's what you think. You think you're just consuming content. And I'm like, yeah, no, but that's the exercise. So if you're looking to find winning ad angles, find content that has done well, that's stopping you, or that has a lot of engagement or whatever, and say, how would I make this into a brand relevant thing?
Or go even a little deeper, like say you sell air fryers. Let's go like really boring product and like go on the best person that, I don't know, KitchenAid or somebody that makes Ninja, like makes air fryers, and then go to their account and look at their most engaging organic content.
Yeah.
And based off that, you could probably get some creative inspiration. And then
Good.
I even like to go, I this doesn't get brought up too much, but I like to go on Pinterest and look up, say like type in headwear. For me, it would be headwear, right? And you'll get a ton of static ads because people run a lot of static in-feed explore ads across Pinterest, and you'll get so many static results that are ads. And I like to pull from there. And I don't know, I think like where to pull inspiration, we've never been in a better time.
Yeah.
Where it's
so true.
The easiest thing to do is like find new stuff. Just search for it across those platforms.
This is easy. Like this is there's never been an easier, there used to be a time there was no spy tools and people had swipe files.
Yeah.
Like there was whole people selling massive amounts of swipe. I think literally Commenter Collective has the last 5+ years or 3+ years of Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals and pages and offers. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. So
and when they went live, that's cool. Okay.
I like to frame it like this because it has never been easier. So I'm always like, okay, well, how can I do it different than other people do? Ideation. I think people undervalue creative ideation. So I think people overvalue creative volume and undervalue creative ideation. And
Okay.
Here's my framework for this. So Mr. Beast has a role in his company that he hires called creative. And their job is to come up with video ideas for the company that is the best in the world at coming up with video ideas. And it's the highest paid role in his company. I'm like, okay, if he is the person who gets the most views and eyeballs out of anybody, and that's the thing he values most, why are we spending all this money on creative volume and not very much resource on creative ideation? So then it is very easy. And that's the reason, is because there's just so many sources. And so I think coming up with that ideas, It's not hard, but I am always looking for like, okay, well then how can I do it if it's so easy for everybody? Like, how do I get above the bar
But
on that?
the issue with this is like, okay, with that framework,
Mhm.
the creative strategist should be one of the most highly paid people you have on the company. Brands can't afford that.
I don't think
They go to volume.
I don't think that creative strategists do what I'm talking about. I think
That's the role that it
You're
services
talking about
in.
more.
I
Like,
think creative strategists are usually operational managers of
you need
creative
somebody
processes.
to be. You need somebody to be.
Yeah, that's
clever.
not how a lot of people. I think that is an opinion of how some people view creative strategists operationally and strategically of what is a concept.
For sure. I'm saying my experience with creative strategists is that they're not really like creatives. They're more like operational managers of your creative sources, if that makes sense.
Okay, ops.
Yeah,
Almost
they're
exclusively.
more like and so like they do come up with angles, but a lot of times they just lean into the proven. Let me tell you our actual framework for this at Royal. We say, okay, there's 3 types of creatives. There is internally like proven, there is outside inspired, and then there's outside the box. Okay, and so we just kind of look at it like, of all the creative we launch, we want 50% of it to be internally proven, meaning we've run something like this before. How do we run this angle back in a different way, in a unique way with a different person, et
That's
cetera?
nice. Yep.
Outside inspired is we've seen other brands running something like this. We have reason to believe it's working. Let's do it. Right. And that was like 50%, and then like probably 30%, and then 20% is outside the box, where we're saying, how do we do none of that?
Yeah.
Like if another brand's doing it, we don't want to do it. Right. Like, how do we do that? Right. And that's the hardest to come up with from an idea standpoint. It also has the lowest hit rate, but the highest upside when it does hit.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does.
So that's kind of like, yeah.
You try to maintain a balance of that in the accounts.
50, 30, 20 roughly is ours, but I think it's kind of like, could be 60, 40 or 60, 30, 10, or it could be, like depending on where your account is. But yeah, that's kind of how 50, 30, 20 is probably a good baseline, and you could go up and down on each from there. You know what I mean?
It's all. I think a little bit of this is like really brand dependent, because some brands can get away with similar stuff to the rest of the industry, and then some brands really need out of the box stuff.
If you're price competitive,
Yeah.
then you could get away with similar stuff to the rest of the industry. If you're not price competitive, then your messaging needs to
I
be
do
vastly
agree though,
better.
like just from an industry standpoint, like the creative strategist should be, that title should go to more of the like idea person.
I agree.
Not some tactical operator that manages stuff. Like it's got to be like your crazy thinker, artist, clever person in the corner, like thinking of new concepts that are a little wild, little different. That's creative strategy to me.
That's what I am. I'm under that influence too.
Yeah.
I think that's what you're talking about.
But I don't think that's how most of them operate, is what I'm saying.
I think that's
They come up with the internally approved variations and the outside inspired ones. Like, so that 80, they cover really well. They source them. They make sure that the freaking engine runs, and they're great at it. But I think most of them don't actually.
That's like a manager. That's a creative manager.
I know, but
that's
I'm just saying
add-ons.
that's how I think that's how
add-ons.
most of them. And that's because the creative strategist role, which I still maintain, you and I invented this role.
Honestly, that was
Yeah.
we were really early on this.
Yeah,
and then
to call people creative
and then,
strategists.
I do actually. So.
Yeah. And so, which is, we meant it to be that. And what it's become is because so many agencies were the first to employ creative strategists, most of the people who have any kind of creative strategist background are just running creative ops because they have to do so much of it for so many brands. They don't actually have time to be like, oh, how can I come up with an idea for this brand that no other brand is doing?
I think it takes me back to like Mad Men. Like I think John Hamm was a creative strategist. He was just coming up with like, he was going away, you know, drinking whiskey, smoking.
They used to call them copywriters.
Yeah.
Honestly.
But he was coming up with like the crazy idea for this one company because we have one shot.
Here's the pitch, guys.
They didn't have infinite shots like we do every single day. So it was like, this is the one shot. We're going to do a billboard TV commercial, radio ad. And I think to this day, like that person is necessary just in a different form.
Yep.
So creative, if I hired a creative strategist for Dad Gang, I'd be like, here's
You'd
how
expect them to do that.
How we've been selling Dad Gang hats is this.
Mhm.
Okay, now go give me a bunch of new shit and come back with that. And then like a manager or somebody that implements the ads would do it.
Do you have a creative strategist that does this?
Yeah, Daniel. We have Daniel. So we have an incredible creative setup, probably bigger than most people. And it's a beautiful thing. So we have Daniel, head of creative, Corbin, head of brand, Sarah, head of creative or creator. And then we have underneath that, Josephine, a copywriter that we internally, externally, and then a handful of other agency partners for different perspectives.
Yeah.
And so like we control internal approved and consistency and repetition, but there's still, and Andrew's head of creative as well. And so we have very big creative people that usually fund and support the ad execution and delivery. So
Yeah.
the most in demand and consistent thing is ads, but the concept and ideation still lives within Daniel. So we have him, he's traditionally trained as a creative and copywriter,
Yeah.
but he has to play the role of like deployment and measurement, or else all the work that he's spending time and effort on ideating doesn't get deployed or utilized or researched.
Yeah.
So I think this is and this also, that's why I believe that you have half your creative people outside and some inside, because you need that perspective,
people,
man.
You need people that have different perspectives and aren't poisoned by knowing what works.
And aren't going like, well, my job is to do volume. Like, again, you show me the incentive, you show me the goal. And if
you got some volume people and some low volume people.
You have to you have to have like, you're measured upon ideation of concepts. You're measured upon the deployment of the assets.
I think some of the biggest like standout companies that have done this well, like if you look at the biggest dogs, like, you know, True Classics and Liquid Death, they
Squatch.
They are multiple podcasts and interviews where like we emphasize that role. I think the True Classics guy came from Hollywood and TV and that kind of stuff. So his brain was already wired for like, we need concepts. We need to make a t-shirt for guys that want to cover up their belly and not go to the gym, and then lean into that concept with creative, hire comedians, actors, all this stuff, and like really run with that. It's bad advice for somebody that's not at that level per se, but that is how they started out.
Agree.
And then Liquid Death, same thing. That founder is like just a wacky idea guy. Like he's
big
just
creator, big vision. Yeah.
Big vision. And he's just like always, I don't know. I think you do, if you can have the resources, like just go have that person that's always thinking of something new, while also just getting inspiration from the resources we named earlier.
I think,
you need that balance.
A lot of the stuff you named really helps with the like internally proven, how do we variate that? It really helps with the outside inspired, what's working for others. A couple other tools that I'll just say that I think help with the outside the box ideation is one is non-digital advertising. So like literally watch television ads, especially infomercials. Or like late night, go to Sports Center late at night when it's like direct response TV ads, or watch even like brand ads when you're watching like a sports game or something like that. So that's one. And then print magazines, I think, are like very good for direct response ads. There's a lot of direct response ads in magazines. Tabloid magazines, just like looking at the hooks and titles on the covers is really good.
Because those are people who have one shot.
Yeah, exactly.
So they need to get it right.
Yeah. And then the last one that I like a lot is I kind of started weirdly building a little bit of a network of comedians who I could tap for like a consulting call and be like, hey, you know, I'll pay you $200, $500. You don't have to pay them very much. They're like, money? Yes, I would like to get money.
And then I don't have
money. I don't have to sit on stage.
Money, practice. And I don't even have to be on stage. And you just tell them, hey, I want some outside the box, out there ideas for this. And then a lot of times, like if they have a skit idea or something like that, they can also execute that for you if you want, you know? So those are a couple ways that I like to do
I love the watch TV commercials thing, because my buddy who's got this million on YouTube and just he creates viral organic videos for brands. But him and I were chatting the other day and he was saying the same thing. He's like, Bart, I have a great concept for a dad gang potential viral ad or organic video. And it comes from this commercial of, I think it was a beer commercial of a bunch of dads going up on the roof, pretending to work on the roof. And then they're all looking around each other and they actually have like folding chairs. And that's like their beer hangout while their wives think they're like replacing some tiles up there.
They got like a hammer and they're like,
and he's like, dude, let's just let's literally recreate that. And let's not involve drinking because we're trying to like be good fathers here. But like, let's just like get up there. You got your hat, hat. Like, let's create that moment in our own way. And I've seen it done a couple other times through him where he's like, dude, I saw this commercial from like 93. It was hilarious. And I think it would work as a concept for your brand. Yeah. So I don't know, even go back, be like funniest commercials of 1995.
Yeah.
And then can you pull out concepts out of that? And you probably can, because they had to get it on the first try.
Yep.
That's funny you brought that up because we've been watching old school cartoons with Kingsley because like the Rugrats and Rocket Power and the ads that start running there. I'm like, dude, these were up in your face and like colors and crazy. And I was like, whoa, like they like went all out on these things.
They were one-shotting their wins.
Yeah, it cost so much money.
Dude, these people would win awards for a solo commercial. I'm like, what? Like that part, that's a great call out. Like OG good ads.
I think
when they had the one-shot ROI.
And the appreciation for like majority of the people in consumption or like into buying power now are kind of like the millennial, a little bit older millennial. Speak to us. Why are these ads not speaking to us? Especially, and we love nostalgia.
No, that's the other thing is like, we remember certain commercials like our age, 35, 37. Like we remember those certain impactful Budweiser horse, frog, lizard commercials.
Dude,
like
I think somebody could recreate the whole.
But
Coca-Cola
you're subconsciously like,
Coca-Cola.
if you pull a concept out of that for your brand and you sell to millennials, you are subconsciously tapping that feeling again.
Yeah.
So I would not be so ahead of the curve hungry sometimes. Like I need to be advanced on my ads. I need to go into a platform and see what Hexclad is running because like
you've got to put out
go
volume.
backwards on this stuff too.
You've got to put out volume. And so, you've got to do some of that. You know what I mean? Like I think that I wasn't trying to be like, oh, creative strategist, man.
No, but this is good for like, these are great pockets to pull inspiration from.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the question was, how do you find winning ad angles? So I think we covered it pretty well. Yeah.